Hi, this is Toby. Today I will give you a demo on Power BI Composite data model. So you can join with various data sources and creating cross-domain data analysis and reporting. Two things are new. Before you can only use Power BI data flow to join other data sources, while dataset cannot. But now you can use dataset to join other data sources. Secondly, there are new objects like data warehouse, datamart in the Power Platform. For data warehouse, you require a Microsoft Fabric license, but for datamart, you only require Power BI license. So this will be the focus in the demo. Also, if you want to access on record level rather than just creating Power BI report, I will show you how to do it accessing to the datamart using any database tools. Let's grab my notebook and get started. Imagine I'm as a role of Power BI developer. I want to combine with different data sources. For example, AutoLine from With as an on-prem data source, and I also want Sales Portal in the on-prem data lake, and I want the order database cloud in the cloud data lake, as well as I want SCRM in Azure, Connected Analytics in Snowflake, and I want one of my lookup table in OneDrive together to combine a report. I use Power BI Desktop to create a report for cross-domain analysis. And here is the connections. For example, this table is connected from Connected Analytics report. This is for account, is from SCRM. The header record is from With, etc., etc. So I will show you from scratch how to create step by step, how to join all different data sources. So if I want to combine other data sources, I go to Get Data, and you can see different data source connector. I can navigate through. But remember, I mentioned about dataset. Before you cannot combine other data. If you get data and all the options are graded out, you cannot do so. In that, before it is called dataset, but now it is called semantic model. And what you need to do, you need to go to Help, About, to check whether you get the latest version. And as well as you go to the option, go to Preview Features, and look for the semantic models. You need to check the box with this one, for example, and also one below semantic model. Then it will enable datasets to be able to combine with other data sources. Let's create a new Power BI report. Go to Power BI Desktop, click the bank report, go to Get Data. This time I want to get the with data, so it is a data flow, so I click data flow. And in the workspace, it is shared by the AOR data enablement team. I want to, for example, get from Hong Kong or AutoLine data. So you have company, customer, vehicle, a lot of data, but I just want the header records and also the location definition. So you can do some transform, but I just load the data. So I got the two tables, and if you go to the model view, it already joined for me, like this one. For the header records, I want to use it to check for the vehicle who returns to the workshops. And the location definition, I want to filter by workshop as a filter in the report. Datamart. So what is a datamart? A datamart is self-service user who can perform database analytics without the need for database admin. He can do end-to-end data ingestion, preparation, and exploring with SQL. He can build semantic models and reports within one holistic experience. And compared to data flow and dataset, for data flow, it is emphasized for reusable ETL. For datamart, you can build your model and relationship within all the entities. And for dataset, now it's called semantic models. You can combine with other datasets outside the datamart to create another semantic model. Here is an example datamart. I create one for SCRM to share to Hong Kong, and here is the table. And I create the model which link up all the relationship between all different entity tables. And hence the user who use this data mart, they don't need to build their own relationship. So the next data source I want to get is from SCRM, and it is the data mart. So I click more, I click fabric, and here is the data mart. Or I can go directly one data hub. There is the data mart. Say I click here. Here is all the data mart I can access. This one is for Hong Kong, so I can connect to it. There's two ways to connect. One is you connect everything, load everything from your model, from the data mart, or you connect to a SQL endpoint to get partial entity I want, like the account, activities, and the time dimension. So I don't need to create my own time dimension in my report. So I load it, import it. So I tidy up my model. So I create here. So these three tables are from SLM, and although I only load partial table, but their partial relationship still persists from the model. For this is linked to the time dimension, and this is for account to activities. And I want the with data, okay, connect with the time dimension as well. So the date in is the vehicle returned to the workshop. I want to connect to the date here. So I save this relationship. So the next data source I want to get is connected analytics from Snowflake. It is the dataset, so I click Power BI semantic model. This is all the dataset I have, and it is shared by connected analytic team. So I select it and connect it. So you can connect to data from multiple sources with this Power BI Composite data model. And I only need two tables. One is the monthly usage, and the other is vehicle customer dimension. And I want the mileage information and the fuel consumption information. So I submit it and skip this potential width. So I have the two table loaded. And it also with the relationship come with the model. So here, if I click here, I can see the vehicle key link to a vehicle key between these two models. In fact, if you log into Snowflake directly, you can see the tables and models and fields and just select what you want. I also want the vehicle usage linked with the time dimension. So here is the month day. I connect to the date here, to the time dimension. Then I click save. So this relationship also set up for this data source. So suppose you want to access for sales portal, which is in the on-prem data lake. The first thing you need to, of course, access to the data lake and also on the database, and also you apply for the Power BI gateway for that for your market. And then you can do it like this. You can create a new data flow and add new tables. Assume you set up your ODBC and got all the access here, and then you will see the Power BI gateway. This you will require to apply separately. So you need to go through for ISET and the Power BI support team. So for example, this one is for Taiwan, New Zealand, SSCA for this data source only. And then says if I click next, then I will see the sales portal here. And then you select your views, and then you create your data flow. All you need is you require to apply all these assets and with firewall opened, or you can just get the data flow created by Toby or the AOL data enablement team. You directly use that. So now I want the sales portal data for quotation in the data on-prem data lake, and I don't want to create all the assets myself. So I directly use the data flow created by Toby. So I click data flow and I search for the workspace. It use this one, sales portal Taiwan data flow. And I just need this quotations view for quotations data. So I load this. So I have this data from sales portal linked to the time dimension as well. Create date with the time dimension, the connection combined with the on-prem data lake. So if you want to connect to the cloud data lake, you can via Gmail. Go to Gmail and then you can see the cloud data lake. And this is the database I can see. And cloud COW is what I want. I click inside and this table chassis is what I want. I can preview it. So I go back to Power BI desktop and I get data, get more. I search for Gmail and use the Gmail cloud for the to connect to it and continue and type in the server name. Also, I can access to other markets. So I just want Taiwan and I want order start from 20204. So I click OK. So I rename the query. I rename it as cow, COW. And I want to connect to the time dimension as well. I want this create date join with this time dimension and then save. The idea is, okay, I have the sales portal quotations for Taiwan and I want to see the orders from cloud database. Excel. Suppose I have an Excel as a local lookup table. I want to include it in the Power BI model. So of course you can get data and then get from Excel and then you include in the model and then you publish to the cloud. However, it will ask you for Power BI gateway, which you don't have, and then it will fail to refresh. So you cannot refresh your report automatically. The correct thing to do is you need to either put this in a SharePoint or make this Excel as a OneDrive Excel. So if you go to File, go to Information, if you open the file location, even this Excel is from OneDrive, this is the same copy in your local drive. In fact, you need to copy the path and then you go back to Power BI desktop and then you get data. Don't use the Excel but use the web and then you put the URL, you paste the path and here you delete the last several characters until the .xlsx. Click OK. This one will connect to the OneDrive. Of course, you share your OneDrive Excel to others, and then you can pick the worksheet. Because OneDrive is on the cloud, so you don't need a Power BI gateway, and it will refresh automatically. Here is the table. Say if I rename this table to say OneDrive lookup. Of course, you can transform the data, and I want to change this to test. Close and apply this. Now I want this one to join with the location definition. Of course, I just this two table is no relationship. I just make an illustration for the connection. Okay, I just say yes. The next steps, I will create a report from these data sources. To save time, I'll create some simple report. And this one is from SCRM activities. You can see the activities and then across the time dimension by year and by month. And I count the number of subjects, how many activities from SCRM. And the one below is I count from autoline from with. And you can see using the header record table, see how many cases have returned to the workshop. So it is by workshop as well, because it's already joined from the model by workshop location. So another one below is from Connected Analytics. So you can see that it is from the Connected Analytics usage and monthly usage. It is get the distance driven and also for the average fuel consumption for the month. And the next page is I get from sales portal for the quotation by month, by portal status, quotation from the on-prem data lake. And you can see the quotation sum and then by portal status. And the one below is from the cloud data lake for cloud data order. And it is picked up by bus and truck. This is from the cloud data, count number of chassis, also by portal type. After that, then I can publish this one. Now I publish this to this workspace. So after publish the report, I go back to the Power BI workspace and find the report and I open it and check the report. Is it okay? So if it is fine, then I go to schedule this report. So I go to the semantic data model for this report and then I schedule this report. Then I go to schedule it. I click schedule, say on a daily basis and pick a time, then I apply. So the next schedule will be next day. So if you are not just connected by Power BI for Power BI reports, you want direct database access to the data lake or the data source itself, you can use any database tools like Beaver. For example, you can connect via ODBC to the on-prem data lake or the JDBC to the cloud data lake, like this one. This is the dbeaver. Here, connect via the JDBC setup to connect to the cloud data lake. and below is connect via ODBC connection to the on-prem data lake. Here is the sales portal data lake. All you need to apply on your own for all the data assets on the data lake and the database itself, and as well as if it requires the Power BI gateway, you need to apply for that for each data source. The other way to do is you can get the database access from the datamart. If you go back to the example before, this is the SCRM Hong Kong datamart shared by the AOL data enablement team. If I click here, I copy SQL connection string. I copy this. If you get this SQL connection string, then you go to Microsoft SQL Server Management Studio, for example. Then you paste your connection string here, and then you click connect and input your global ID password. So go to the views and you will find the entity, for example, account, activities, activity report, the time dimension, etc. from the data mart. You can expand the columns. You can see the activity ID, owners regarding objects, subjects, etc. Say if I want to query this like a database, then I can just open a new query. I split the window. I select top 20 records from this activities table, and I execute it. So it's just the same operation of like any other database. So and then you can maybe you can manipulate or you can get the data out to your own database. But aware that you need to do it outside the scanner network. If you do it inside the scanner network, you need the firewall opened. Otherwise, you cannot access on this. And here is the entity. You can get directly access to the data mart from database level. So I mentioned you can have database access to datamart like this one SLM datamart, but then you may ask, how about data flow? Or you have more than one datamart and several data flows all together from different data sources. So how to do this? Can it do a database access to that? The answer is yes. If I go back to my example, this is the Power BI desktop. I get the data, all the data mark, data flow. If I create that on the cloud, and like this one, SLM data mark, sales portal data flow, OneDrive, and Wave data flow, all together on the cloud, and then wrap this as a one new data mark. Then this just like a separate new data product, and then share this to the user directly. So the good thing is the Power BI developer, they get this only from this one source. I don't even need to share them the ultimate data mark, data flow, or all different data source. I just share this new data product as one data mart to them. They based on this, Power BI developer can use this to create very similar report, and then he can share to his user for the report. And also he can get the database access to this new data mart as the data product. This new data mart, it can also be accessed for database, and it can see SCRM, Sales Portal, OneDrive, with, for example, and it is very flexible. And you can combine with all different kind of combination and create your unique data product. But then how to create a new data mark as a new data product? The way to do is, for example, you go to a workspace, then click new, and then you click new data mark, and then you need to get data, each of the data to include the ultimate data source. It is a data flow, or it is a data mark. Okay, this is a data mark. So you include all this, and then of course it could be some ultimate data source like this. All different kind of data source, maybe Azure directly. Like you can also connect to Azure server. Once you get all the data mark, data flow here, and then you join the connection as well. For that, you need data product you want, because you may have just need some table only and with different combination of different data source. So this is a new data product, and then you save it, and then this is I call it a new data mark. Okay, and then I share this to a user, so the user will directly can connect to this just one data source. This is the datamart, which refer to this one. So exactly to him, he will just have one source of this data product. Then he can build his report, and then he can share to his user, and he can even also use database to access this. But you need to also aware that, but you can never see the option for a data set or existing semantic model. Maybe in future Microsoft will include that. But the turnaround for this is you need to connect to the ultimate data source, and then there's a lot of connectors, and then you build a data flow or data mart first for that source. Okay, for example, Kinetic Analytics. If I can directly using Snowflake connect it and then build a data flow or data mart here. But the Kinetic Analytics teams is bought from this, so you have to use their data set for now. So for dataset for now is a limitation here, and then you can wrap it as a new data mark as a data product and share to your user. This is the new data mark as a data product. You just create, right? You can also check what's inside, what data source it is ultimately connect to. So go to here, you can view the lineage. So the report create is this one, which if you trace it, this is from this data mark. So this data mark, you have the sales portal, you link to the Wave data flow, you have the SCRM data mart, etc., and also the OneDrive Excel lookup. So this is the new data mart which you connect as a data product. As I say, you just only share this one to the user, and they don't you don't even need to share all this ultimate data source to them, just this one. But then you can compare to the original report. For the report, underneath is the semantic model, which you need to share the sales portal, data flow, the Wave, the Gmail account, Excel, etc. So SCRM data mark, you need to share all these data source to the user before he can using this source to create this report. But for the data product, it wrap it all together as a one data mark. So you can just share this data mark to the user to create his report. So if you have Microsoft Fabric license, you have even more tools like data pipeline, data flow gen tool, datamart, lakehouse, warehouse, SQL endpoint, etc. Do a lot of much more database manipulation in the same platform. And together, you can also use Notebook with Apache Spark and Python programming for machine learnings on the same unified platform. The AOR data enablement team will share you those major data source assets. So this will save your time. You don't need to apply your own data source assets, and you don't need to apply for Power BI Gateway, and you don't need to go through ISET, and you don't need to open firewall for those data source connection. Besides, you can combine your own data source together with those shared major data sources to create your own data products and share to your Power BI developers to build their own reports and applications. With the Microsoft Power Platform and the Power BI Composite data model, you can do your cross-domain data analysis and reports. But the most important thing is it is focused on self-service BI because you know your data and your business process best. So you need to create your data products and reports and application on your own. If you are Microsoft Fabric, it will be even better. So combine this is the alternative solution for a data warehouse. I will stop here for this demo. Thank you.